Welcome back to From Nine to Mom.
where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 hustle with the beautiful chaos that we call motherhood.
And today we're going to be talking about.
Enneagrams. We think
I
that's
was
how
like,
you say it.
we think that's how you say it, and it's going to be so embarrassing if it's not.
We
But
Googled it, obviously, and played it a couple times just to make sure. So, Enneagram. If that's not how you say it, we're sorry.
yeah. So if you are a mom that works in a professional environment out there, I'm sure you've taken some sort of test or have been asked because I feel like there are certain people that it's like their number one icebreaker question, like, which
Yes.
one are you? And it's supposed to like tell them. It's kind of like, it's almost like I feel like where you ask them when their sign or like,
Yeah, it's 100% like your astrological sign. And
right?
I think professional people, depending on what environment you've grown up in, like one of these tests, whether it's the Myers-Briggs or the DISC assessment, or if you're a free spirit and you are into astrology, you align yourself with one of these different methods of basically understanding your personality and you live by it. What I think is cool about the Enneagram specifically, and I think you can relate this to other tests, is it's not intended to put you in a box. What it's really meant to do is to help you understand how you process things and why, and then use that to also understand other people, how they process things and why, and be able to tailor your message and find a better base level of understanding. But I do think in my past, I've traveled around with certain ones of these, like a pride badge, like I earned it at Girl Scouts or something.
You're like, I'm this, and it makes me. But like, if you actually read through them, and I think we need to go through what are the options here. But
Yep.
when you go through them, it does talk positively and negatively about each one. So it's not like one's better than the other. It's just we're
Yeah.
into this piece. So there's nine there's three triads, right? And there's nine different types. If I'm yeah, right,
Yeah. You're right.
right,
Yeah, like, just
yeah.
read through, like I think it'd be helpful just to quickly read through them so people can kinda think about it, and then we're gonna go through and say which ones we were based on a couple things and talk through that.
All right. So do you want me to read? There's the three triads. The first
Yep.
one are the heart types. So this is going to be types 2, 3, and 4, and they depend on their emotional intelligence to understand their own reactions and help them connect with others. These are the short versions that I got.
Yeah,
So
keep going, it's
add
perfect.
anything. All right. Then there's the head types. This is type 5, 6, and 7. They depend on their intellectual intelligence to make sense things and navigate the world around them. And then is 8, 9, and 1 depend on their instinctual intelligence to follow their gut and respond to threats and opportunities.
Yep, and I think that the cool thing about that, the heart types, their core emotion is shame. The head types, their core emotion is fear. And then the gut types, their core emotion is anger. And I think it's cool to think about that. That might come into play for you as you're taking these tests. And then the 9 types are type 1, the perfectionist, type 2, the helper, type 3, the achiever, type 4, the individualist, or some people call it the romantic, type 5, the investigator, 6, the loyalist, 7, the enthusiast, 8, the challenger, and 9, the peacemaker. So you could fall into any one of those 9, but the reality is when you take tests, a lot of them will show you your top 3. And then, Katie, I just found out that there's like multiple types of combos that you could have where they actually have even deeper profiles. I think we should stay away from some of that because it's overwhelming,
I
but
know.
also once you figure out your
Well,
type, it's there.
and everyone has a different test. There's like hundreds of these out there that like seem like at one point they were probably like a business ploy for coaches or something. Like
100%.
come
100%.
on and take them. So we took at first the one that's on truity.com. We'll link it for everyone that wants to like be on the same page. It was only like a few minute test.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
say it took like 10 minutes max.
so on the Truity one, what was your result?
So on the Truity one, and this is where I'm gonna laugh because it makes so
You're
much
trying to
sense
give
to
an
me.
explanation.
But my top was a 3 and my second was a 7. What
Wait,
were
so you
yours?
took it twice.
No, it gave me 3 it gave me a pie chart, and they were pretty close. I didn't buy the test of that one because I bought the last one.
Okay, wait. So mine, I'm trying to look. I don't think I have my result. Like, I don't remember giving 2 for me on that one. So mine on that one was 3, the achiever.
So what was yours on the second one? I can't forget this is the one I took first
Yes.
and Katie took second.
So then we took the one on this is enneagramtest.net, personality science. This one gives you 3 results and then explains to you like where you fall. So my first one was type 5,
Interesting.
type 3, and type 8.
So mine for that one was type 7, type 2, and type 8.
Wow. So
Yep.
did they have the same explanations as the others?
Yes, very, very similar. And I think what I laughed about was then we both went and asked Quinny and Daphne, our respective chat GPTs. I did not ask any questions about Enneagrams before this. I made sure I didn't say anything, didn't give them any of my personality types. I said, if you, judging on all of our interactions, if you had to guess what I was, it told me that they thought my numbers in order were type 3, type 7, and type 8. And in all of the tests, I got a type 3, a type 7, or a type 8. So I think that's funny, but I also think it's funny that you and I both got similar types.
So it said that I'm a 3W2, which is the
Charmer.
charmer, and my core drive is achieving success and being liked and appreciated. And the energy I give off is polished, ambitious, and people oriented.
Yeah, so they gave me the same, the charmer,
Okay.
or the realist. And I started asking more questions. So Katie just read the charmer, which was what it gave me as one of my options. And then the other one it gave me was the realist, which is a 7W8 or whatever. And it says, I seek freedom, variety, and new experiences, but with an assertive, bold edge. And basically, it's saying you're high energy, adventurous, and resilient, seeing possibilities everywhere, confident and bold, thriving in leadership, and pioneering new ideas. Brings enthusiasm, but also grounded, practical sense of let's make it happen. So when I asked like the question, because this is where you get into it, because you could read things. I've been following Enneagrams for a long time. My original test, I looked back, I took in like 2023 or something. It was like a
You had
couple
made us
years.
do it at YPC.
I did make you do it at YPC,
Remember that?
disguised as the 16
Personalities, right?
personalities.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is a 3 is like 11% of the population, a 7 is 9% of the population. So both fairly like it makes sense, like if everybody's
Okay.
10%. Um, but the biggest difference was if you're more about connection and admiration, you're more likely a charmer. If you're more about freedom and bold leadership, then you're more of a realist. And the reason I say this is because in my first round of therapy back in the day, she had me take a test that wasn't about personality at all. It was like answering questions that then ranked your values. And my first value was freedom and being able to see the beauty in everything. So those were like my 2 things. And I found it interesting because at different points in your career, I always thought, and I've been thinking about this lately, what do you love about life? What do you love about people? And I always thought it was people are always like, oh, you want to be in leadership because you want to be admired, right? You want people to like you. You want them to admire you and you want to be connected to people. Like I really felt that. But in my older years, since I'm so much older than you,
Oh, yeah.
right? I've been finding that it's really more about being free. I didn't want to be micromanaged. I want to be able to lead the way I
Yeah.
wanted to lead, have people be
Right.
genuine and authentic. So I wonder in this case, like when you're saying, am I a 3 or a 7? Because you got 2 different answers. That's like kind of how you play it out. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think like so when I read the description about the achiever, it was really tied to like obviously your achievements and like feeling valued by the people around you and some of that. And I feel like that's a lot that's definitely me in the fact of like sports probably made me that way. Like getting captain, being a leader, like I thought those were the goals, like that's how you knew you were successful because you were in charge.
Yes.
But then I read what Daphne here told me about like the 6, or so it was a 7W6 is the second one that I got on there, and it's the buddy.
Okay.
And it basically was like, you're seeking security, you're always thinking what's next. And some of like you're quick on your feet, you're ready to pivot all the time. But then like the blind spots that came out was like second guessing when security feels shaky And I thought that was like, okay, like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense in that. And that's wild that ChatGPT can gain that from me literally asking it like if Ryan's allergic to magnesium. Like
Like
that's like the last thing I've asked. Like what how do they know?
like, it's unreal. Like, it's unreal, and what you just said, Katie, about that one that you just read, what was it, 3 by 6? Is that what it was?
7 by 6.
7 by 6. So if we both lead with 7, it makes a lot of sense, right? Like, but I also think it's funny because I was like, we're so different, but we're not. Like, our core values are
But
so.
that's right. Right. And that's that's why we're in business together. We have
So
the
that's
same
why I, like,
values.
laugh about it, but and, like, you those things that you stress, like, that I almost got more out of the challenges, like you said, like, understanding. So,
Right.
like, the 7W8 is the challenges can bulldoze. Does it sound familiar? Can bulldoze ahead too quickly, not always slowing down for details or emotions, weird. May struggle with overcommitment, get too excited about things, and when stressed, high intensity can overwhelm others, weird. Like, that's, like, and when I read that, I was like, yep, that's
Yeah, you like read some of these things and it helps you like with a little self-discovery or like self-realization of like, okay, what does that mean? So I asked her to give me a chart um of like the comparison of the two and like what they thought most. So like the motive for like both she did it like both of them together being like you want to be successful and be admired but you want to be secure, you want achievement and have a positive image but you need variety, um
okay.
you want to be polished and persuasive. She said that I want to be adventurous but we all know that's not me. um your biggest fears are being worthless or overlooked, being trapped.
Okay. Yep.
um at best, you're a magnetic leader who inspires. You're great with connecting. People trust you. Um, and then she like went through and just said like you are a 3 core with a 7 influence is how they left it. So I thought that's a little more like, on there, but you could dissect this forever and like
You
be
could
like,
keep
oh yeah, that
going and
makes sense, or
going
this does that.
and going. And I feel like I do think that in different aspects of our lives or different times of our lives, we might lead with one or the other. So I think that that's one of those things where you have to kind of like look inward and say, like, am I doing this because of this moment or is this really who at the core I am? And I remember when I went through leadership training at Target, it
Jack,
was
can you please leave that there? Please leave that there. Thank you.
it was about your strength. We focus a lot on strengths and opportunities, neither one being good or bad. And I think that's kind of what the Enneagram is. And who you are at your core usually doesn't change, right? Like
Right.
the person you are doesn't change. But I think you can learn and grow by understanding yourself and maybe getting to the real reason why you do that or why you are that way or why you appear that way to other people. And that's why it might show up differently each time.
Yes. So I just went ahead and asked, what are the common Enneagram types for working moms? Like, where are most of us going to fall into? Because we
Yeah.
go minded immediately, but we're connecting to all you out there on motherhood. So typically, the most common ones for moms are type 1 with the reformer, type
Wow.
2, the helper, type 3, the achiever, type 6, the loyalist, and type 7, the enthusiast. And then what are most common? She said 3s and 1s are the top. Um, and then 2s and 6 are typically there because they're the protector and the caretaker. 7s are a little rare because those would fall under the fun mom.
Okay.
And then and then she said, "Do you want me to map out your types for how it relates to motherhood?" And I said, "Yeah." So she said, "Since you're a type 3 mom, the achiever, you pack lunches the night before, outfits are laid out, your kid's hair is always done, your coffee's in a travel mug." And you're the one that someone would say at drop off, "Wow, you always look so put together." Um and then you're after this is funny. Wow, you guys should all do this. It goes through my whole day. So like during the workday, you're on back-to-back calls, multitasking. You knock out a deck, reply to client emails, schedule your doctor's appointments all within your lunch hour. Your afternoon is racing to soccer practice. You're still in performance mode, so you're checking Slack on the sideline. This is hilarious. And then you constantly feel the tug of guilt. Am I giving enough to both worlds?
That's hilarious. And how does it know, like, obviously, but this is part of the Enneagram, right? And I feel like it is accurate, but your ChatGPT really does know you, like, and can understand you. And I think that depending on your mix of things. So I did something similar. It didn't give me the exact stuff. I think yours are hilarious. But basically, because I'm a 7-3 or a 3-7, depending on what it is, like it's between showing your kids how to succeed and then showing them how to enjoy life at the same time. So it's like you, for the type 3 part, like you just said, you have a color coded Google Calendar, like picture perfect birthday parties. But also you are doing presentations and goals, all that stuff. And then the type 7 is the person who plans spontaneous outings after school. Let's go get ice cream, or work bag next to soccer cleats in the car. Like Pinterest board is full of the fun ideas, maybe juggling too many commitments, listening to music in the morning and singing. Like that's like where I look at that. And that's definitely more me.
I'm reading, so she put like the 7 mom on here, and and I do think it is a little bit more you, but like jumping between project, like work and home often, spontaneous and adventurous, all about making memories, um, showing kids the joy and possibility of life. Um, so I
Yeah,
think
I feel
like,
like, but I feel like you do that too, and maybe we both just lead
but
more
that's
like
why
with,
yeah,
yeah,
a little
we
bit of
lead
both.
more with one. Like I feel like my core being is more of a 7, but my like who I show up, like who I am at, because of work was such a big part of my life, and sports, like you said, the type 3 is like what I was for so many years. I led
Right.
with that part of my
Adapt.
personality. But I think it's interesting, like you said, like you can fall into any of these things, and they gave me sentences for each type, so like maybe this will help you like recognize who
All
you
right.
are. So type 1, the perfectionist mom, you said that, the mom who has a chore chart, color coded calendar, and kids who know exactly how to load the dishwasher the right way. Type 2, the helper mom, the mom who always has snacks, extra band-aids, and somehow knows when your friend is sad before you do. Type 3, the achiever mom, the mom who signs up for every PTA committee, runs her business, and still shows up looking polished and matching bows for her kids, or in your case, matching outfits, Katie. Um, Type 4, the individualist mom, the artsy mom who encourages creativity, deep talks, and help kids find their unique voice, even if it means glitter all over the living room. Type 5, the investigator mom, the mom who thoroughly researched every stroller, reads parenting book for fun, and has a detailed plan for just about. I'm laughing because I'm picturing my friends like as I'm reading these.
Who goes into which category?
Exactly. Um, the loyalist mom, the safety first mom, car seats triple checked, emergency contacts updated, and always has a backup plan for the backup plan. Type 7, we already said, the enthusiast mom, the fun mom, spontaneous trips to the zoo, dance parties in the kitchen, enough energy to make every day feel like an adventure. Type 8, the challenger mom, the protective mom, fierce advocate at school, no one messes with her kids, and the first to speak up if something feels unfair. And Type 9, the peacemaker mom, the calm, go with the flow mom, creates a cozy, peaceful home and helps kids feel safe even when the world feels chaotic. So I think it's interesting, like in the mom world, because you're right, we're talking as moms too, not just worker bees.
Well, it's sometimes hard to think like that because this was built obviously to like help people connect at work and like figure out how you work best with others. But it's true about moms too. And it all applies to our personality. It's not just work.
Yeah.
Um,
And I feel like
but
more and more people are talking about this as like a system in the workplace than before too. I feel like the Myers-Briggs and DISC, did you do both of those at work at some point as well? The 16 personalities one had a Myers-Briggs component. What were you?
I don't even remember.
Feel like you were like
I don't remember what.
I was the commander, which matches my Myers-Briggs for sure.
Let's see. 16 personality.
And then have you taken DISC?
No.
DISC for work, I got a lot out of communication for that one.
Okay, wait. So I was definitely an analyst, I think.
We're going to find out what that would be. What is this on Myers-Briggs?
Yeah. So I did pull, and I want to read this because for moms that fall into the most common categories,
Okay.
it put together for us some of our like reminders for yourself for like some self-care and mental
That's a good, like, how do
health.
we use this?
So if you're a 1, Daphne here is saying to give yourself permission to be good enough.
Oh,
For a 2, always ask for help instead of giving it because you're always, 3s, rest counts as productivity. And then it skips because it did the most common one. So 6, remind yourself that you can handle the unknown. And if you're a 7, build in calm and routine, not just adventure. So if you're being too adventurous, make sure you build in some routine and, um, so always good reminders from good old Daphne.
I feel like they always do a good job of giving you little things, and I highly suggest going in, and if you don't use ChatGPT, I don't know how you're listening to us because it's all we talk about, so you're probably bored,
You're
but I
probably
highly
this.
suggest you do put some like, take the quiz, put this in, because if you don't use ChatGPT all the time, it's not gonna know what you are. But I just put in what you said, Katie, and using your Enneagram to grow, I asked it to, like, help me how I could apply this to motherhood, friendship, and self-care, same thing, and it gave me this is why I love doing this kind of stuff. It gave me the 7W8 with a strong 3 energy, that's what it's calling me now based on all the things I've typed in here.
Amazing.
And it gives you, like, exactly, like, how you show up and then things to try. Like, as a friend, because sometimes I, like, feel like I'm moving so fast that I jump into conversations without even taking a breath with the person, and
Yeah.
it says, "Try this. Ask one grounding question when you check in, like, 'How's your heart today?' Instead of 'What's new?'" I'm always like, "What's new? Tell me what's up." Like, that's a lot, instead of being like, "Where are you at today?" Like, where and that's, like, a good piece of advice to, like, for connection piece. And then, like, self-care, it's saying for people like us, Katie, schedule white space in your calendar with no agenda, and then journal 1 page about what's hard, not what's exciting. And I'll tell you, like, sitting with your feelings is something I'm very open to feelings. I'm very open to talking about them. It's been a part of my, like, leadership strategy forever to be vulnerable, but sitting with my feelings is one of
Yeah.
the most uncomfortable things I could ever do. So it's so funny that, like, these Enneagram tests can get
Yeah.
that.
They make you realize some things or like make you want to sit on things in a um different way. I remember now for 16 personalities, I was the architect. But I'm
Yeah, right.
curious if that would change now.
So this is the thing, I've taken the Myers-Briggs test a bajillion times at this point, and it's always the same, and that's kind of the thing, like, you are who you are, but, like, the why behind it, I feel like, and you show up there's still I'm an ENTJ, right? But there's thinker and feeler, and they're so close together that I bet you on the right day, I could switch that. You know what I'm saying?
You're ENTJ?
J, yeah.
Okay, I'm INTJ.
Which is the like, makes absolutely the most sense for the 2 of us.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm curious, like and then like you're saying, like I feel like what you're right, like your core doesn't change, but like that I took that before I was a mom, so like I feel like it does change a little.
Maybe.
I've definitely changed, like since like
You change, but, like, your core, like, who you are and how you unless you've, like it might be a little different, but the reality is, like, your values, like, what is most important
yeah,
to you may have changed, but at the end of the day, let's say we're leading with a 3 for you, right? Maybe it's not all about, like, achievement in work, it's now
yeah,
about being a good mom, like, showing
yeah,
up for your
like the
kids.
reason,
Like, you
yeah,
before we got on this call, I'm calling you out because I think it's a perfect example. You were like, "Why do I feel so much relief that Jack, like, is having, like, a is so much happier at school already?" And it's because that is an achievement for you, like, your goal was to
that's
make
right,
him
right.
like, so you still are the same person, but the focus is now that instead of being the captain of
You're right, it is because it's like the feeling of like his teacher being like, "Jack's so cute," and that like I take it as a personal win.
yeah,
But
like,
right,
and it
Jack, you like school now? You're melting your brain.
being brave. It's my favorite. Can
So
we do that
cute.
on calls now? Like, when we're, like, feeling like,
Yeah,
"I'm
so
good."
if anybody's watching us visibly here on YouTube, ex-teacher at pickup today was like, all of a sudden, night and day, he just didn't cry today. I mean, it's the 4th day of school, so, like, it's a miracle, honestly, that it went that quickly. She's like, "He's so sweet. We worked on today, like, being brave, and we do this for, like" so I'm, like, wrapping my fingers together, and they, like, use that as their sign to be brave, and it's eating at my
It's,
heart.
like, so cute, right? Like, so I'm gonna start doing that now, like, "Be brave."
Right?
but
Like it's a little
I love
cute
it.
little sign.
I think it would be cool for me to read. I asked for famous people by Enneagram type. Like,
I have those.
okay,
Mine listed too.
so we can take turns. Do you want to do type one or
If you got all of them, because I
I
only got the ones for the one that I came out
all
as.
right. So type ones the are Michelle Obama's and Nelson Mandela's and Hermione
Okay.
Granger, if you're a Potter
Oh,
fan.
you're a
Type
Gryffindor.
2s are Mother Teresa, Dolly Parton. Type 3 is Oprah Winfrey, Tom Cruise, Rachel Berry, and then the one that got me on type 3, because this was my nickname in my former life, Leslie Nope. Um, Type 4, the individualist, it's Frida Kahlo, Johnny Depp. Type 5, the investigator, Einstein, Bill Gates, man, Sherlock Holmes. Type 5s, get in our circle, please. Type 6, the loyalist, Ellen DeGeneres, Princess Diana, and another Harry Potter reference, Ron Weasley. Type
More
7,
Gryffindors.
Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, and Peter Pan syndrome. Cool.
Okay. Interesting. You just
Type
offended
8,
all of those
I don't
people.
like, okay. Type 8, the challenger, Martin Luther King, Serena Williams. Type 9, the peacemaker, Morgan Freeman, and Audrey Hepburn. So I think
Shout out
that
Serena taking GLP-1,
look at, yeah, seriously, like good for her, good coming out and being an advocate.
you know?
We're
Not afraid
all
to speak up.
I feel like it's important.
Yeah.
You know, I feel this way. But I think that like I should have said moms. Let's ask it like who are some top moms?
Famous moms that fall into each category.
You can see that we're doing this while we're talking to you guys because it's like there's
Well,
so much to digest.
well, this is a big conversation, and I think hopefully if you guys are listening to this, you take maybe we'll put a little disclaimer, like take the test before you listen today so that you know, but if you haven't, hopefully we inspired you to take it and figure out where you fall.
These are good. Like these are good ones. Like for the
All right,
mom,
let's hear
type
it.
1, Michelle Obama, Martha Stewart. Type 2, Dolly Parton, Princess Diana. Type 3, Kris Jenner, Beyonce. Type 4, Angelina and Pink. Type 5, Jodie Foster, Meryl Streep. Type 6, Jennifer Garner and Sarah Jessica Parker. Type 7, Drew Barrymore and Chrissy Teigen. Type 8, Serena again and Madonna. And type 9, Audrey Hepburn and Julia Roberts. So I feel like this is cool. And then I'm not going to say all these because I feel like it'll take forever, but I think we should do a post, Katie, where we talk about it, gave me the option to do a mom superpower and a mom blind spot for each one.
Oh, all right. I like that. Let's hear it.
So you want me to do it?
Oh, you want to like do it as a post instead of
I can
reading
do
them?
it here, but if people are going to be bored, I can do a couple examples. We'll do ours just because we've been talking
Do the
about.
most common ones. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
type 3, superpower are inspiring kids with ambition, polish, and the drive to succeed. Role model excellence. Our blind spot can unintentionally tie love to performance, making kids feel like they must shine to be worthy. Type
Uh,
what was another popular one? Type 7, just because we know it, and type 8, I feel like. Type 7 makes life adventurous and full of possibility. Kids grow up laughing and exploring. Blind spot can avoid tough emotions or structure. Kids may miss consistency or grounding. If you haven't taught your kids grounding, I started this with Colton. It has changed our lives.
touching some
FYI.
grass. How are you?
I don't care where he is. I like tell him, sit, breathe. What are 3 things you can see right now? Like, and it takes him a minute. And then I'm like, what's 3 things you can hear? And like, it works. If you don't practice that, you should practice that.
No, we actually there was um a conversation. I don't remember if it was like a night out. It was like we were with a group of like parents, and we were talking about somebody saw this thing that was basically like when your kids are having a meltdown, and reminder that our kids are 2 years old, like low comprehension for a lot of like for that.
Yeah, for that. Yeah. Colton's almost 7, so different.
Right. So like depending on their age, right? Like there's you got to find different ways to help them cope in that. And there's this thing going around on Instagram that was basically like when when that little of a kid's having a meltdown, like you ask them what color things are and you go to colors because they know
They
the
have the
colors
same colors.
and you get them to start talking about colors and it like ends their meltdown. We've been doing it a lot with Kelvin recently because we just have a lot of change going on in the house. So lots of meltdowns and like we're getting in our routine. So we're very tired all the time. And we just will ask him things and it like his brain goes in another wavelength. It's crazy.
Isn't it unreal, like the distraction? Because I think meltdowns, they're kind of like they're not ready to process certain things. So like they get stuck in their own head. Just like if you've ever experienced a panic attack or like a moment of anxiety, and that's why they say they didn't call it grounding when I was younger. They used to like make me like squeeze my hands really tight or focus on something else. But it's really, they say when they get a little bit older, you can do math problems with them. Like what's three
Yeah.
plus four? And we used to do that with Colton. And they just start thinking about something else and they're able to disassociate from whatever it
Whatever.
is that's got them in a funk. And I feel like emotions are a big topic in my house, probably because I feel like I grew up in a type 3 household. Like I did think it wasn't, my parents loved me unconditionally, but I felt like I needed to succeed for
Yeah.
like that was tied together. Like the better of a kid I was, the more lovable I was. And that pours over into your adulthood, obviously.
We should make our moms take this test.
Oh, and our dads. And our dads.
I'm going to send it in my family group right now and say I need everyone to complete this test and send it back.
I think that's a genius idea.
I will share.
We'll tag both these tests for everybody that's listening right now, because obviously we're trying to cram a bunch, but I know you're seeing it on your For You pages. You have to be between the fact, and then I'm like, my whole identity. Hi, I'm an Aquarius, Pisces rising with a 738
Yeah.
Enneagram.
You guys did get me to, some people at YPC, you all got me to sign up for, what is that app?
CoStar.
Yeah, but I don't have it on my phone anymore.
What are you doing with your life? We just had like a blood moon. Did you do anything? Did you release stuff?
Yeah.
You did? Cool. Cool.
I'm excited for myself to release.
I don't know, like stuff,
I just got to my
spent
period. Is that what it's supposed to?
if you had your period on the blood moon, you're even more like special. You know what I'm saying? Like you are real special. But
Right.
I feel like you make that your identity a lot. And so then it becomes us all over your page. But my identity is very much tied right now to K-pop,
You are a demon hunter in and out. And my achiever mom forgot that I said that I was picking Calvin up in 10 minutes. So
yeah, see,
gotta-
look at that.
gotta get
Overcommitment. Let's go, baby. All right, with that, we're going to clock out.
we're going to share lots more on our Instagram. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.